It's already August, so that means most of us are finishing up with summer school or finishing up enjoying your summer, you lucky lot. And we are slowly coming to our senses that university is going to start in a few weeks. Whether you're a returning student or you're going into your freshman year, I feel like now is like the perfect time to start watching videos like this to get the vibes going. So I am a neuroscience student and I'm going into my second year this September. Now with that said, I will tell you some of those things that I wish someone told me before I went into my first year. And this surely applies to me as I go into my second year as well. I can't thank my friend who convinced me to go to our freshman event enough. I made so many connections during this time. You're also given with the opportunity to connect with seniors who have already gone through the things and have the experience that you can benefit from. And everyone there already know that you're new and you're new to this whole environment. So I think it's like the best opportunity to bring some clarity, get used to your school grounds, get used to the kind of people that goes there, and the most perfect time to make some friends. Now on that note, when you go into your first couple of weeks of university, consider them to be like a trial period, because that is exactly what it is. So take this time to get a feel for what it's like, to see if you understand the professors, to see if their teaching methods work for you. And during this time, try to look around, see if there's any alternate courses that you can get into, any other schedules that might work better for you. Of course, you can't be too picky because there might only be so many options, but there will be so much change happening during this time. So if you know that there's a better alternative out there compared to what you are currently enrolled in, then do what you need to get into that. You should absolutely not feel stuck in your classes. So speak with your department, email them, or get in touch with an advisor to figure things out. This is something I try to do when it comes to anything that I'm trying out for the first time. It is always better to know more than less. So I would suggest that you look up your program, your courses, your university, your professors, and anything else that might come to your mind. It's almost like thinking of yourself as a lawyer who is fighting your case. You need to know everything and prepare well enough to not be surprised when you're out there. So ask questions and read about your program requirements. Certain programs have certain GPA requirements each year, so be aware of things like that. Look at your second year, how that's gonna go, and see if there are any prerequisites that you might need to take for certain courses. Although the university and the staff are there to help you out, some information gets left out. So it's important that you know that you are responsible to keeping yourself informed about all of this. And of course, I'm not trying to scare you, but when it comes to anything in life, knowing more about something will definitely be more beneficial than not. And on a side note, most of the times for each courses, students would make WhatsApp or Discord group chats. So it's important to keep a watch out for that and get access to them as soon as you can. This is very similar to the previous point, but meet up with your advisor even when you feel like you don't have any questions, especially in the beginning of the year, because it's important to get used to how you can access your advisor, who you can contact for certain troubles that you might encounter. And it's important to get used to that because there's definitely going to be times when you're going to want to ask questions, and you should just know how to, and you should feel comfortable enough to do that during the year. And they also have a lot of experience dealing with students who are in your position right now. So it's important that you make use of that as well. If you're unsure of where to start or what questions to ask, maybe you can go up to them and show your schedule and ask them, hey, here's my schedule, here are the courses that I'm taking. Would you recommend any changes? You can ask them where you would be able to find resources. Some universities have peer-assisted tutoring that are free for their students, so see how you can access all these resources that are there for you. Ask them about the accommodations that are being offered and see if they apply to you, and if they do, know how to access them before the last minute. I have some personal tips for you. The first one is to know that it's okay to be alone. It's definitely great if you have a friend with you at all times, but it's important that you get comfortable being by yourself. It's most likely that people might share a similar schedule or have the same courses as you during your freshman year, but that might not be the case as you move on. So it's important that you take this time to get used to your own company as much as possible. Next thing is similar to this one, and that is you should be your own top priority. And I know this is pretty selfish, but just because I say that you should prioritize yourself over anything else doesn't mean that you should be a menace to society. Be nice to others, but don't be a people pleaser. You know what I mean? Know that it's completely okay to say no to things, because it just shows that you have control over how you choose to spend your time. And to me, I think that is very respectable. And this should go without saying that just because everyone's doing something doesn't mean that you should too. You should know your boundaries and respect them yourself, so that you show others that they need to respect them as well. Your first year is going to be the ideal time for you to work on constructing healthy, sustainable habits that work for you. So use this time to understand your needs and your wants and work around it. This one would definitely depend based on your situation. And if you're someone who wants a part-time job but don't have one right now, I have to tell you, it's never too late to start looking for one. And yes, it is absolutely possible and realistic to manage your part-time job with your studies. In my opinion, having a steady stream or any kind of income really is so useful, no matter if you need it or not, because it gave me an opportunity to understand money and how it works and to make mistakes financially without really bad consequences. And it's also great to learn about time management and how you can plan around school and work. The next one is pretty self-explanatory, and that is to work out. I would suggest that you use this year to build up the discipline to work out no matter what, even if it's just for a couple of minutes. Make it a point to move your body and get your heart to beat a little bit more than usual, you know? Definitely find what works for you. You do not need to go to the gym. You don't need to lift weights, even if it's just a nice long walk outside, or you're just doing some stretches or yoga in your room. It's good enough so long as you are not just sitting at your table 24/7. Learning how to cook and meal prepping will definitely save your bank and probably also your health. Food at universities might be very accessible, but cooking your own food might not only help with your budget, you can also be in control of what gets into your body and make healthier choices. And the last thing I have for you is know that it's completely alright to be confused right now. This is a big jump from what you were used to, which is high school, to something a little more self-driven. There is nothing wrong with experiencing confusion. You are expected to go through some form of existential crisis at some point in university. You need to understand that you're not alone and no one really has their life together at this point. Don't compare yourself and don't give up either. Keep showing up for yourself every day, no matter what. And someday you might have answers to all these questions that you're so confused about, or maybe you won't, and that is okay too. Do not hesitate to ask for help, and don't ever think that you are stupid because you don't know certain things, because everyone has to start somewhere and nobody was born knowing everything. And although I said try not to be surprised earlier, I want you to be prepared for surprises, because nothing really goes to plan all the time. And that's just how reality works. You do not have to have control over everything, and it's completely okay to sit back and take a break sometime. After all, as they say, this will be some of the most memorable times of your life, and you can't be all work and stress all the time. You have to have fun as well. So best of luck to you and me, and I'll see you in the next one.